Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Good to have you, Morley.
It's very good to be here.
Malaka, it's great to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm local to the area. I was born in Georgetown. My mother and father married. They live in the area, married for about 40 years now. And I have 3 brothers. Just a quiet guy in the neighborhood.
Quiet, the guy who wrote this awesome book.
Thank you.
So let's just dive right on into this. Your inspiration for writing this book?
Well, you know, about 10 years ago, I had an opportunity to go to New Orleans. And while I was in New Orleans, Katrina had just hit. So I got a chance to volunteer with the Red Cross. And after dinner, the only thing they wanted to do was entertain the kids. So I said, okay, how about I just tell stories? And instead of finishing the story every night, I would just tell a little bit and I'd leave them like a cliffhanger.
Like a cliffhanger.
And I'd come back. And so every night, more and more kids would turn out just to figure out what happened. And I promised them that one day I'd release them. So 10 years later, I
10
released
years
them.
later, oh my goodness. And so what are the stories about with Turtle Tom?
So it's actually interesting because the story about Turtle Tom, it talks a little bit to those kids because he's on a journey to find his way home. And every time he's trying to find his way home, there's always some situation that he finds himself in to where, you know, he has to overcome or he has to just believe in himself. And that's what they were going through back then. So it really resonated. And of course, you know, you always want to leave them with something positive at the end. So Turtle Tom found his way.
He found his way. So you were inspired. Where does Turtle Tom come from?
Yeah, that's very interesting. So I knew that I wanted to do a story, and I didn't want to do a typical, you know, dog or cat or bear. And I was just thinking about, you know, animals that are loved by everyone, and the turtle came to mind. And then, you know, it's kind of a play on words. You know, you start thinking about the big characters of today, the Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and I just thought, let's go with the reverse, Turtle Tom. And that's how it came out.
Oh, it's so wonderful. Now, is this Turtle Tom here?
That right there actually was created by a very talented young lady by the name of Tania Neal. And she came to an event where I was marketing Turtle Tom, and she said, I can make Turtle Tom. And so I thought that was very interesting, and she made quite a few of my characters, and you know, that's a fun prop, but yeah.
Oh my goodness,
she's
it's
24 years
wonderful.
old. I thought it was fantastic.
It really is. So Turtle Tom is looking for his way back.
Yes, he's trying to find his family. He's trying to find out, you know, along the way where home is. And, you know, again, the significance there was, you know, I ran into a lot of families of kids who they didn't know where their mother was. They were with the father and the grandfather, and so they were just trying to connect. And every time they tried to connect, it's either they missed them at this shelter or they missed them at this school. So, you know, I just wanted to leave that positive message at the end.
Wow, that's powerful. It is very positive, too. So who did the illustrations?
So I worked with a gentleman by the name of Josh McGill. I just did an open call, and you know, I found Josh. He sent me his samples. I thought they were incredible, and I had a vision for what Turtle Tom looked like. So we spent about a year, you know, trying to negotiate, you know, the best possible scenario for both of us to work together. And after a year, I sent him the scripts, and he was impressed, and he said, I'm all in.
Wow.
Yeah, he's in West Virginia.
And he's in West Virginia. Now, I also found fascinating that you are self-published.
I am. So, you know, I know that today, you know, people go in different directions, and one of the things that I wanted to do was take control of the process. I understood that, you know, to not give up that control, I had to be hands-on, and I had to do a lot of research. So after doing that, you know, it looked like going in the self-published direction was definitely the way to go. I had the ability to release all of the books at once because, you know, I'm one of those folks where I feel like if you release the books in time frames that lapse too long, people become impatient, especially kids.
How did you know?
So, you know, I wanted to be sensitive towards that. Absolutely.
So you have that, and what is your goal? I mean, when you say someone has read your book, and so what do you want them to remember from reading your books?
Well, you know, Turtle Tom is a fun story. You know, the books itself do a few things for kids. I put coloring pages in the books. There's a connect the dot activity in the back. There's a fun fact about turtles. I want kids to learn about a different type of animal, and also along the way, they get to experience, you know, that joy of being able to achieve what it is that you believe in. Right. So the story really does, you know, take you through that journey. I made sure I didn't have a talking animal. It's narrated so that you're in the mind of the turtle, and you just stick with the story.
I noticed that, because even when I looked at the video, you know, it was like I could keep it in my own head.
Yes.
So that was really important, you know, and particularly for, you know, sometimes little people, they need to keep it in their head and
Absolutely.
Use their imagination.
Absolutely.
So I think that was really very key. So do you have another book planned?
Not necessarily another book. You know, one of the things that I always get fan mail about is a coloring book. The kids do enjoy coloring. So I've decided to go ahead and put out a coloring book. Hopefully that'll be done towards the end of the year. Wow. And I want it to be a little bit educational. I want it to actually have, you know, holidays and Turtle Tom representing that.
Wow. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely.
You look amazing,
Thank
Morley.
you very
thank
much.
You.
And I brought you a present as well.
Ooh.
So you get your own Turtle Tom series.
And you know, I like coloring.
Absolutely.
This is mine.
So please.
All right, well, stay right there, because you're going to see a video about Turtle Tom book series. And then coming up next, we will have Tyra Garlington on the show. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
The Turtle Tom book series is a wonderful story of a young turtle who strives to find the family he never knew. It starts deep in the woods, where a small miracle happens, and Turtle Tom is born. He's all alone, but knows that he has to find his family, so he sets out on a discovery voyage. Along the way, he will meet friends that will keep him company, take care of him, and ultimately help him find his way home. But the adventure will present challenges, as he avoids capture, being attacked by other animals, and getting lost on the beach. But in the end, the adventures of Turtle Tom will teach you that life is full of challenges and setbacks, but keeping an open and determined mind will lead you to your dreams. Visit our webpage at www.turtletombooks.com